Hi everybody. Well, the gluten balls have been baked, and here I have presented them in the order that I've presented all day long. All-purpose, bread, cake, rye, and cornmeal. And remember, we're omitting the wheat flour because I didn't have any and couldn't buy any today. So what were the baked weights? Well, for the AP flour, it ended up being 41.2 grams. The bread flour ended up being 85.3 grams. The cake flour, 21.6 grams. Rye flour, 161.6 grams. And cornmeal, 92.6 grams. So if you've read your lab, it asks you to take a look at the cell size. We have no way of measuring the cell size, but what we typically do is open it up, and the bread flour is just a hollow ball. And it goes back to what I said earlier. When we incorporate water into the flour, we create a lacy network. Within that network, water accumulates or is trapped, and when heat is applied, it evaporates, creating steam, causing the product to rise. And so that's what we have here. And you remember from your readings, bread flour has the highest protein content because we want that structure. Whereas all-purpose is a little bit less, usually around between 10 and 12%. And you'll see that there's quite a difference in that air pocket. Looking at the cake flour, which has the least amount of protein, it's just very, very dense, and of course the volume is much, much smaller. When we break open the rye, you'll see how incredibly dense, and if you could feel it, it's quite heavy. And that's one of the reasons why when rye flour is used in baking, they always incorporate some all-purpose flour, so it gives it more of a rise. And then, of course, the cornbread, or cornmeal, I should say, is also very, very dense. So, highest protein content, midway, least, and virtually none in these particular items. So, the other part of the experiment for today was baking a batch of oatmeal muffins using oatmeal or quick oats with a little bit of all-purpose flour, and then a gluten-free muffin with sorghum and rice flour. So once again, I had to improvise because it was hard to come by rice and sorghum flour, so I bought gluten-free all-purpose flour, which is a combination of the sorghum, rice, and cornstarch and tapioca flours. I'm going to post pictures for you guys to see, but you'll see there's a significant difference in the amount of the rise. And if you were to feel the gluten-free, it feels heavy because you don't have that gluten to help inflate it and create a light and fluffy product. Still tastes pretty good. I find there's a texture difference, but it's something that I think can completely be overcome. Anyway, there you go. And again, I'm going to post pictures. So this is a muffin made with all-purpose flour and oats. And this is the one with the gluten-free flour. That's a combination of tapioca, cornstarch, rice, and sorghum. So the last thing for today is to talk a little bit about grits versus masa. Now, on the videos that I attached to our PowerPoint slides, there was a really interesting video that talked about how hominy is made. And hominy is made from a special corn variety that's soaked in typically lime water. And so going off of that type of corn, and that soaking process, they prepare masa, which is a finely ground lime-treated corn. And I've poured a little bit out of the package so that you can see it's very much like a flour consistency. So another variety of corn that's used to make grits is presented here. and you'll see it's very granular as compared to the one that has been ground. And of course, they both cook differently as well. So that concludes our lab for the cereals and grains. And so I will be looking for your post-lab questions that are due next Tuesday on Moodle at 10 a.m. Remember, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm glad to help you navigate through the work that we'll have to do online in the coming weeks. So again, I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll see you next week. Take care.